Hello everybody. My name is Gold, and today's video is not a hard one to make, or not an easy one to make. Um so we got some pretty bad news. Outcome Memories is kind of cooked. It's not exactly over, but it might as well be. So first, Altez made a video talking about the Raven situation. And I, for more or less, agreed with this video. I thought it made some pretty decent points, and it showed that, oh, hey, Raven actually was a pretty big problem. And I think that's what a good amount of people probably thought. I mean, I saw a lot of posts and other YouTubers making videos talking about this. Well, it turns out it wasn't a great video, supposedly. It painted Raven in a very negative light, and it was called Outcome Memories Raven Behind the Scenes. And it painted Raven as this big, bad person who was the sole reason why Outcome Memories or Tripwire was super overpowered and why the team was under a lot of stress. Except that's not entirely true, because the dev team also had a hand in this as well, but I digress. For more or less, the video discussed why Raven was bad and why she's just not a good person, and just criticizing Raven the entire time. So folks on Twitter, Reddit, all over the place started to harass Raven, even though the scenario or the situation was kind of over and Raven had already said she was leaving the dev team, and this was kind of one last little punch, like, all right, guys, I'm leaving Outcome Memories, I'll see ya. And then on the way out, it freaking bang, here's this video. It's like a little excessive. There was not much need to have this if it had already been resolved. There's no point. But he made it anyways. And he kind of came under fire from people because they came to the same conclusion I did. The horse is already dead. Why you keep beating it? There's just stop, bro. Stop. It ain't that deep. And well, I guess it is that deep. But point being, he was being a dead horse. And so he got under a lot of fire. And then, speaking of fire, he got fired. They fired him. They ejected him from the dev team. Or, I guess not dev team as a tester, but they fired him. He was laid off from his position. And Romeo was like, we fired him. Please don't harass him, guys, or do anything like that. And so some people were like, what the heck? And so Altaz made a follow-up video called A Follow-Up to the Situation. And in this video, he shows off screenshots from his Google Doc he made, which I'll link in the description, which he talks about and shows off screenshots that the dev team not only said it was fine for him to make this video, right? He came to Bonely about it, and then Bonely was like, oh yeah, that's fine, that's good to do. And then Bonely went over to Sobi and Robio and got them on board. And so all those big free members of the dev team were like, yeah, you're good to make this video. It's all right to publish this video. And Bonely even had a bit more hand in it. There was a lot more screenshots of him than there was anyone else. So clearly Bonely knew about this and was maybe even involved to an extent of this video. And so he released it and thought it was going to be fine. And they said, oh, don't worry, we got your back. You're good. We're not going to fire you, Ben. We got you. And then they fired him. And then we're like, guys, this is not our fault. This is Altaz. We didn't tell him to do any of this. And while they didn't tell Altaz to directly make the video, they didn't say, no, you're going to get fired. They literally said, we have your back even if we don't show it. So they made him feel like, oh, don't worry, the dev team's backing me. All right, I got this. And then they fired him and stabbed him in the back. And so he shows off in this video that, yeah, these guys said they had my back. They're liars, bro. And that wasn't very cool from the dev team. Just like, what the heck, bro? Why'd you do that? And so, in response, Robio didn't really say much about it, and Bonely made it his own Google Doc saying why he is leaving Outcome Memories. And pretty much it just goes to be like, yep, I'm leaving OM, I'm leaving the internet for a little bit, so I feel kind of bad about the whole situation, and it's just kind of an apology, and he's dipping out. Which I get. I would probably do the same. Maybe, or more actually, I wouldn't get myself in this situation. No, I'm just kidding. But in reality, it does suck that he's leaving. So Bonely's leaving. Altez has been laid off. Multiple people on the moderator team for the Discord, and I think even in game, have been saying that they may leave the games themselves just because of everything that's going on. And this is just like a day or two after they reopened the Discord as well, which is, yeah. So on top of all this, the owner of Allfather, Jack Gore, has also stated that he's probably going to pull off Alther. I believe he said he is pulling Allfather, which kind of sucks. He'll show off what he had planned, but he's like, yeah, my trust is shattered. I can't trust these guys. So not only are we losing Allfather, we've lost 2017 EXE, we've lost Raven, we've lost Bonley, and we've lost Altez. Sobi, as far as I know, has not really made enough statements about this, and Romeo hasn't made too much outside just saying Altez is fired and then talking about the furnace thing. So yeah, this does kind of suck because for more or less, we just lost a good portion of the dev team. And there is no clue where the game's going to go on from here. We lost another EXE, and we have no idea if there's even going to be a hotfix. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just pushed out whoever they had out now, like Fleetway or Furnace, whoever's ready. I wouldn't be surprised if they just pushed them out to try to make the community a little happy. But Alchemy Memories, this might be the end of the road, to be honest. They don't have much left. There's only Robio, Sobi, and some other members of the team. Some of the coders, I think, and whatnot. But a lot of the moderators are probably leaving. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the coders do too. So, and as far as I know, they're also out of soundtrack composers. So they don't really have much. They don't have much. I mean, I think they have a soundtrack composer, but they don't really have much anymore. They lost Bonley. He was a major driving force of the team. Along with losing testers and a lot of respect from the community and their own moderators, I think the game might either get shut down, canceled, or maybe they'll keep pushing out updates, but I don't know. I mean, I'll play it till it gets shut down. I was thinking about maybe streaming it sometime, but this really does suck for Alchemy Memories. Speaking of streaming, let me know down in the comments what your guys' thoughts of this, and should I do an Alchemy Memories live stream? Should I play an ASIM game? And let me know what you think about this whole scenario. While you're down there, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and make sure to click that notification bell. But this truly does suck. I hope it doesn't get shut down because I actually really enjoy playing this game. I've been a part of kind of part of the EXE community for a while now. I knew of Sonic while I was younger, and I knew a lot of EXE stuff. And so this game just... Hey guys, Editing Gold here. Before my past self continues, just want to state that Romeo put out a statement saying that he tried his best and that what's going on is out of his hands for Alchemy Memories. He's not leaving, but he's going to stay in his position and monitor the situation for his best of his ability. So, just want to say that real quick. Enjoy the rest of the video. It was almost like a dream, you know. You could play whatever EXE you wanted. There was tons of characters. It was pretty much the best game you could want as an EXE fan. You could play tons of the popular EXEs in an ASIM format, a game that perfectly fits these guys, and a story that makes sense. And it's pretty much Dead by Daylight with Sonic.exe, a game that I'm pretty sure most people would have actually wanted. And people did, considering how many players are involved with this, and seeing it getting, not canceled, but seeing all this happen is just truly tragic, and it does indeed suck for the dev team, the community, and I hope they can move past this and get better, but I'm a little skeptical, so this could be the end of Alchemy Memories. But it is the end of today's video, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts? What should maybe I do next? What do you think is going to happen next Alchemy Memories? And I'll see y'all next time. Gold out.